and right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle. Rose is on his way around. Picked up by Otis.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, here comes the boom, ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the boom, ready or not. How you like me now?
You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
You are watching live to the Best Damn Cincinnati Sports Podcast, this side of Lot 1. My name is Santori Miles. We got Bengal Dad. We got Bengals football just around the corner. How we doing?
19 days to go. I'm loving it.
That's a good number. 19, prime. All kinds of good things there.
I'm ready to roll. Let's go.
So, first and foremost, before we get into the show, we need to thank people that make the show possible. Our first one, I'm always going to do them first because they've been with us the longest. Not a slight to anybody else in the slightest. Slight in the slightest? Imagine, if you will, it's a balmy 210 degrees down at training camp. You're sweating your ass off. Joe Burrow's dicing up the Colts like he did today. Jamar Chase is picking off piss missiles halfway through the sky. Everything's going right. Nobody's complaining about Joe's glove anymore. Nobody's complaining about Joe's wrist again today. You know what you do when you wind down? You get a nice bottle of Brimminghorn Meadery out of Delaware. They're Bengal fans. Isn't it amazing? Use our code HOODAY9 down there at the bottom to get 15% off. Helps basically cover shipping. You got to order 2 bottles or more. Even to states like Montana. We are inclusive to all 50 states. Next one. And I'm going to go with them next because they're like a stone's throw from my apartment. Script Coffee, brought to you by local legend Stephen Huff and his partners. Great organization. They got coffee. They got frappuccinos. They got mochachinos. They got Americanos. I don't even know what half of this stuff is. But guess what? If I drink too much of it, it gives me the jitters. I can't sleep at night. And I think that's what it's supposed to do. Script Coffee. And last but not least, take it away, Bengal Dad.
Midwest. Best barbecue. There's some damn good barbecue there. Did I say that? I said it. Damn good barbecue. Ice cream, still don't know. Can't really screw up ice cream, though. Must be great ice cream.
It's fantastic ice cream.
I'm not a fan of the Dylan wing. You have to keep saying that. But I do like the Grippo rub wing.
The Grippo wings are good.
Great place, right off Ward's Corner on Justice Road, Avenue Street. Justice
Boulevard?
something. It's there. You can't miss it. It's right there. All kinds of cars are in there all the time. It's busy. Great barbecue.
All right. With that being said, first topic of the day, and this is always going to be the first topic of the day, is our Project Game Day weekly update. Whoa, why is that transparent? There it is. That looks better now. For those of you that have been following along for a while now, you know that we partner with Project Game Day, which is a nonprofit organization that sends adults with disabilities and veterans to Bengal games. It's their first game, hopefully. Sometimes it is what it is, and we don't necessarily have a first-timer for the week. But as the fan base grows, hopefully that changes. But we do have a kind of a cool update, something that we've been working on for a while that we're very, very proud of that just happened this morning. I had a hellacious morning with work, so I didn't really get to share it with anybody. Actually.
Not even me.
I didn't share it even with you, Father. We are officially licensed through the state of Ohio as a nonprofit organization.
Well, there you go.
So, round of applause. I know Joe, Houday Joe, if you follow him on Twitter, did a lot of the legwork on this. We've got our tax ID. We are doing all the right things, doing it legally, doing it the right way. You know, we're not. I think we.
We're not saying it. It's
we got to report our taxes now, which is fun. But we are officially a licensed nonprofit organization through the state of Ohio. Paid all our dues and signed all our paperwork today. So for everybody that's helped and everybody that's been on this ride with us. I really thank you, because today's an important day, because today makes it officially official. It was always real, but today, like, you can't take it away from me, kind of thing. It's just a good day for that.
That's a good thing.
Moving on to some sports, some Bengal sports. We'll go with this one first. Oh, we popped up. Kevin's here.
It's a good question. It's a good thought. We need to talk about it.
Orange look. Yeah, I don't know if we touched on it yet.
We have not touched on the orange look. I like it. I like it a lot. Just without the white jersey.
Yeah, so, that would be the all orange. That would be like.
Oh, he says all orange. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the orange pants in general. I like the orange pants.
The orange pants in general, I like. I like the orange on orange. We'll just go through the combination, because they are officially. Well, there's a lot of combinations. We'll take White Tiger out of it for the moment. Okay? Got one helmet outside of White Tiger, because that's its own thing. They're not going to mix and match with White Tiger. You have 3 other tops and 3 other pants. No, you have 4 pants. I think you have 4 pants. There's a lot of combinations.
There's 3 pants.
No, there's 4.
There's black, there's white, and then there's all white.
2 whites.
Yeah, the all white.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got orange now. Yeah.
They got a white with orange in there.
We got 2 whites, an orange, and a black.
So you got 4 pants, 3 helmet, 4 pants, 3 jerseys.
2 helmets.
No. I'm taking White Tiger out of this.
Okay.
4 pants, 3 jerseys.
Can we start over?
No.
It's only 6:05. Can we start over?
There's a lot of
we got nobody watching. Kevin doesn't even count anymore. He must have bailed on us.
It's because it's not showing Twitter, because that's where the main feed is.
Oh, so we may have 1,000 people watching.
You know what?
We
We're right.
we could be in front of 1 million of our fans right now.
If they were pumping the live feed from Twitter up onto Times Square, like I don't know.
It could be happening right now.
We're world famous.
We are.
Okay, well, we'll go through the combinations I like. I love the White Tiger. The moment they released that, I thought that was cool.
It's nice.
Okay,
I don't love it. It's nice though.
Black on black.
He's watching on YouTube, by the way.
That's why it's not showing, because I'm not broadcasting it. I'm not sharing the link to YouTube.
Well, that's not very nice.
StreamYard's
That's
pumping
not
in.
very nice. You're supposed to share.
Well,
Didn't I teach you that?
Or no, it is pumping on YouTube. If he's watching on YouTube, why is it not? I don't know. I give up.
I have no idea.
I love the black on black. I do want an inverse.
They don't win very much in that combination, though.
No, but I want an inverse helmet, where it's, instead of the orange with black stripes, it's black with orange stripes.
I don't like that helmet.
I've seen those.
I've
I like
seen
it.
it. Don't like it.
I like it with the black on black, but I love the black on black with our orange helmet. I like the white on white traditional, the primaries with the white or orange helmet. Orange on orange.
Worst uniform is?
Well, hold on. I think there's a new worst. We'll get there.
Oh, well, there's 2 worse ones now.
I haven't seen the other one in person yet, but I'm willing to say it might be up there. White on white, great. Black on black, great. Orange on black, great. Orange on orange, great. It's really hard to screw this up. Black on white, I don't like it, but I can live with it. It still looks normal.
It's normal, yeah.
Right? Black on orange, I think, is going to be a good look.
That's going to be the best look.
Okay. White on black was forever my least favorite. It didn't look right. Now, there is probably a new least favorite in my eyes.
And you missed one before your least favorite.
What did I miss?
The Dreamsicle.
Oh,
Orange on white.
Orange on white's a decent look.
That wasn't bad. It still disappointed me, though, because I always wanted orange over black.
White on orange pants.
That does not look good.
That looks awful. At least in renderings, it looks awful. I hope to God they don't do that. I don't know. I don't think it flows right. I'm not a fashion designer. I'm not a fashionista. I'm wearing a white shirt with blood stains on it right now. I'm kind of a hypocrite. But man, there's really only 2 combinations out of everything you can do that I don't like. So, I mean, I think they've got a fairly good uniform combination. We thought about doing this week. I think we'll save it for next week, because I got to get like 32 pictures up. we're going to do some kind of a tier ranker, maybe a bracket of our favorite jerseys from each team. Unfortunately, that means I have to pick a favorite Ravens jersey. I already know which one it is. I hate the fact that I have to pick it.
And a favorite Steelers jersey and a favorite Browns jersey.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do there. I know the favorite Ravens jersey. And I like their all blacks. I think their all blacks with the tinge of purple is a good look. But we'll move on from that. Today in practice, the Bengals lit up the Colts. And I mean all phases of the game. Joe was throwing darts to T. Higgins. I sent you a video where he had it was either a comeback or a deep out. It's hard to tell based on the camera angle.
Yeah, did you see the Dingleberry that made a comment and said that would have been picked off, the throw was short, they need to sign T and Chase and trade Burrow. Did you see that one?
No.
Oh.
It was a beautiful throw. He put it up where the kids can't get it. That is where that ball is supposed to be. Gesicki had a back shoulder one-hander that I saw that looked really good. Rocky Lombardi threw a seed down the left seam. I forget who it was to, but it was a beautiful ball. Oh, it was Charlie Jones over the shoulder past the DB. Dax Hill again was in the Twitter kind of breakdown twice. Once for a very poorly thrown deep ball that they said, quote, made sure it was incomplete. He probably couldn't get a hand on it, but batted it down kind of thing. And then apparently, God, who's their number one pick? I feel like an idiot right now. One of the really fast receivers from this year. Oh, Mitchell. Tried to put a double move on him, and it didn't do anything. I guess he stuck with him the whole time.
More importantly, were there any injuries for the Bengals?
I didn't hear of any. And I know Trent Brown's back out there.
This was the last time the ones were going to play. I don't think they're playing at all Thursday night.
Yeah, and I know Trent Brown was back out there. So you've got your full line. I know Sam Hubbard's been back at practice, so you get your full defense with the exception of Cam Sample.
Any word on Mims?
It's a 3 to 4 week thing. It's a very stale nutter butter. I don't know how long that's been in there. But ones versus ones today, it sounded like they dominated pretty well. The numbers, I don't know what they were for Burrow, but I knew for Richardson, at one point he was like 2 of 8 with a pick.
That's pretty good.
They said the Bengals were giving him an awfully hard time with some of the chatter. Apparently he threw an incomplete pass to nobody. They weren't quite sure where the ball was supposed to go. And Geno Stone piped up and said he doesn't throw it to players. He throws it to areas. So we're in their heads a little bit today. And, Anthony Richardson had a kind of a fun 3 or 4 games last year before he got hurt, but he's still pretty much a rookie. He hasn't played a full season yet. He's only got a couple games under his belt. That's probably the way you really would have wanted that practice to go today. And nobody got hurt, which is always the most important thing. We've been fairly lucky with that this year.
Well, we got what we always talked about. The ones that are getting hurt are the ones that are not the absolute superstars.
Yeah, and I want to make sure people don't think that I'm rooting for backups to get hurt. I hate when, a Burrow goes down like it did with his calf, or, Jamar Chase or T. Higgins or whoever ends up going down. And it's like, man, because that really derails you. I'm not saying Cam Sample wasn't an important depth piece, but I think everybody on the planet, if you had to pick Joe or Cam.
Yeah, anybody that doesn't understand you just needs to just turn the show off.
Yeah, sure.
They're stupid.
Well,
if they don't understand that, that's stupid.
I don't want my best players to get hurt.
If you had to lose money, would you rather lose a little or a lot? It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Moving on to guys that
are stupid,
might be losing a little or a lot.
Yeah. What the hell is going on with Jamar?
I don't know.
I keep hearing he's going to sign. He's going to sign. He's going to sign. Whatever. Go ahead and rant yourself. You start your rant. I'm getting a Reese cup, and I'll be listening.
We're both drinking chocolate milk and eating candy bars. It's great.
Diabetes.
When it comes to Jamar, I understand when guys hold out. Okay, it doesn't fall upon deaf ears. I understand why you do it. I understand the importance of it. I understand not wanting to play in preseason when you're looking for a new contract. I understand all that. I understand the chance to secure generational wealth. None of that is going over my head. Here's my problem with it. Whether you believe the reports from Schefter or not, the one thing that I probably question but seems true more often than not is the fact that, one, Mike Brown said we don't like to negotiate at this time of year. We know he doesn't like to, but we know he has because this is when Joe Burrow signed. Schefter has also said that Jamar Chase's camp has not been pressing for a contract. If that's the case, why are you holding out?
What are we doing here?
That's why it doesn't make sense. So let's run with that side of it for a second, because that kind of pissed me off, kind of going down that rabbit hole. Jamar's got 2 years left on his deal. They picked up his fifth-year option. It's guaranteed. He's got 2 years, $30 million left. Get out there. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. They've made this emphasis of not wanting to have slow starts this year and everybody being on the same page. They've thrown Joe Burrow out there, granted one drive, to the Wolves in a preseason game, which everybody was scared the hell and back for. And Jamar Chase is going, but my money. You got $30 million on the books, my dude. I know it's not the top rate for a receiver, and I know you are a top receiver. I get wanting to be paid what you earned. If this was the last year of your contract, I'd get it. If this was a T. Higgins situation, I would understand T not practicing right now. But he is. Joe Burrow didn't withhold from practice. You don't see it too often, and it really, really, really does upset me. And one of the things that ends up almost happening every year, and I don't want it to happen, but seemingly it happens every single time somebody holds out or holds in because they're not as conditioned as everybody else, is they tweak a hamstring or they tweak an abdominal or an oblique or something. That they'll get some kind of small, tight muscle that holds them out for a couple games and nags them the whole year. And they're not quite up to the speed they want to be. My point is, it's not a one-year deal. You got a chance to win a Super Bowl this year. What are we doing? I don't understand why he's not out there. There's 2 years left on his deal. That's putting money ahead of the team, and I hate that. I understand money's a part of it. I understand a business is a part of it. Trust me, I study the salary cap and contracts probably more than 95%, if not higher, than Bengal fans out there. Probably than NFL fans, period. I spend way too much time on that. He is not in a position to be doing what he's doing. And quite frankly, the guy that is in a position to be doing that crap, and I told you this earlier, is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Brock Purdy makes $900,000 a year. After taxes, he's keeping probably taxes, agent fees, whatever, and then all his deductions. He's probably keeping $300,000 of that. And he lives in San Francisco. That's almost not enough to get by because guess what? He has a roommate. If anybody should be going, please pay me, it's that guy. Meanwhile, I got a $30 million receiver over here who's not practicing. That's the rabbit hole that makes me upset. Could there be something else going on? Sure. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what's going on with Jamar. Nobody else seems to be upset, which is the weird thing. Bengal fans all seem to be pretty calm about it. I think we know he's going to get paid regardless. But this also popped in my head today. If Jamar Chase, let's say, does his hold in all the way to week 1, and then goes out in the first play against New England, tears his ACL. Hope to God that doesn't happen, but let's say it does. And then he's healthy again for the start of the 25 season. That's the start of his 5th-year option. I guarantee you he's still getting paid, and he's still getting paid probably at the top of the market. So in my mind, whether he gets a career-ending injury or not, he's going to get paid. He's owed $30 million whether he gets hit by a bus tomorrow or not. And if you can't tell me that's not enough money to live on the rest of your life, I don't know what you're doing. So don't give me well, he's got a chance to sign the bag. No, that argument works for guys like John Meta, who is making like maybe $50,000 right now and is trying not to get hurt. The guys like Brock Purdy, who haven't earned enough money to retire yet. The guys that are undrafted free agents making $60,000 a year on the practice squad. Those are the guys that it makes sense for. If you have a $20 million signing bonus and a $20 million 5th-year option wrapped up, that's the bag for most guys. That's more than what Logan Wilson got paid for his giant extension. That's more than what Pratt got paid. I don't understand. I truly don't. And I try to be a guy that's like, yeah, go get your money because you only get one shot. But for a first-round pick, you don't only have one shot. A lot of those guys get 2 and 3. He's already made enough money. And I know he's got a chance to make this giant contract, and that's awesome. But in my mind, unless he suffers a career-ending injury, which nobody really worries about day to day, he's going to get paid anyway. Go win the Super Bowl. It starts 3 months ago. There's my little rant.
All right.
I know you probably feel very much the same way.
Well, to me, it's just it comes down to a couple things. Either Jamar's got this ginormous ego, and that's ugly for an athlete. It really is ugly for an athlete. So he's either got a big ego, or he's not. He doesn't have enough confidence in himself to not listen to his agent, because agents cause this stuff a lot. They do it a lot,
and that's
because they're trying to make their money. They're in it for themselves. They're not in it for the betterment of the player. They're in it for themselves.
And that's why I try to say I'm not mad. That's why I said when I went down that rabbit hole, I got mad. But I don't know what the reality is. The reality could be he's just listening to his agent.
Well,
which players are going to do 99% of the time.
There's 2 things for sure that are happening here. There are people that are going to decide based upon what's going on if they're going to continue to be Jamar Chase fans or not. He's going to lose some of his fans. Probably doesn't matter to him at all. He's going to lose some. The other thing that I can assure you is happening on the other side is the Bengals are costing themselves money every day this thing goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because they people just get paid more and more and more. You never hear the top flight players getting paid less and less, unless it's a running back from a couple years ago. Well, but for the most part, you know, if somebody else goes and signs, I don't know who that would be. I mean, CeeDee Lamb's not signed yet, right?
Not yet.
If CeeDee Lamb signs and all of a sudden he gets a contract that's the same or higher than Justin Jefferson for some reason, if Jerry Jones just decides to do it, then guess what? It just costs the Bengals more money.
Right, and here's the other thing. Because when I talk about salary cap, when we talk about resetting the market, it rarely happens. Every year you wait for the top guy to get signed, and for the most part, it's always within about 1% of what they've traditionally signed. It's called average annual value for cap. Okay, and just to make it easy, let's say the cap is $200 million. I know it's not. And a player signs for 20, his average annual value per cap is 10%. Okay? So when the cap goes up to 220, his contract's going to be 22. When it goes up to 300, his contract's going to be 30. I don't consider that resetting the market. It's always going to be more money. The issue is, traditionally speaking, going into this year, we were anticipating guys getting about 31, 31.5, 32, which was, what, out of 250.
It's probably about 13%.
It's about 13%. The issue is they came out and hit it at 36. That's a reset. And that's when you go, oh, shit. Because now I don't know what it's going to be next year. And now it effectively is costing you more money. Is it always going to cost you more in millions? Yes. But it doesn't always necessarily cost you more in that slice of the pie Mike Brown talks about. The issue is the slice of the pie got bigger. Unexpectedly way bigger. Like going from 30 to 36, that's 20% more than anticipated. That's a huge increase. That's what we're dealing with. So now if I'm the Bengals, I'm going, oh shit, I need to get this guy locked up before it's 40 or 41 a year. Because it is much more expensive than we thought. So there's an issue with the Bengals. There's an issue with the agent. There could be an issue with Ja'Marr Chase. I don't know. The issue is the longer it goes on, the more it hurts the Bengals more than anything. It hurts them financially. It hurts them in terms of being ready for games. It hurts team chemistry and locker room stuff. The media is going to get drug into it. It's going to start distractions and bullshit the longer it goes on. God forbid it goes into the regular season and he decides to not play, which is unforeseen if he's going to do that or not. All it does is cause problems for the Bengals, which means, quite frankly, Ja'Marr Chase does have 100% of the leverage in his contract negotiation. And I bet that's killing Mike Brown to know that a guy's got 2 years left on his deal and has all the leverage. It's just a shitty situation. We know he's going to get paid. We know it's going to be a ton. But I want to win. And we got, as we said, 19 days left until winning starts. So that's where I'm at. It's just frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Any thoughts? Any other thoughts on that?
No, I don't have any. You've covered it all. You've beaten that horse to death. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. I mean, I keep hearing that he's going to sign, but he will eventually. I don't have any doubts that at some point he'll sign. It's just what's the collateral damage? What's the long-term damage? What's the short-term damage of that?
Right.
This isn't good for anyone.
Here's the thing. If the show ends and I roll over when my friends leave tonight at 11 o'clock at night, which is seemingly every single time when one of these contracts hits is when I'm trying to fall asleep. I mean, if I roll over tonight and he gets 4 years, 144 in new money, everybody's going to go, oh, thank God. I'll analyze the money tomorrow. It's signed. We're good. We got 2.5 weeks to a game. Right back on schedule. Because I do believe Ja'Marr is one of those guys that probably only needs a week. I do believe.
Again, it's a matter of the injury.
Right.
It's really what it is.
So we'll see. With that being said, we're going to continue this. We screwed it up last week. Kinda. The Reds were within 3 games of 500, and we said they are going to lose. I promised you that. Then they won. Then they lost 3 in a row.
Well, they won, then they won again. and then they got annihilated.
Yeah, they gave up like 30 runs.
They scored like 3.
They got obliterated. I was off by 48 hours, guys, but we knew it was coming. That's just what they do.
And where are they tonight?
Toronto, right?
3 games behind.
Here we go again, Jim.
And I was foolish enough entering in the second game of Kansas City, not on air. I told you I had a really good feeling about this game, and they lost 13-1. I don't have any feelings anymore. I hope they win. Who knows? All we know about the Reds is you never know.
Listen, I want them to win every single game. I really do. But when I hate the manager, I don't like the roster as much as everybody else. I become very apathetic toward the team. And it's very hard to root night in and night out when you just – I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs. Everybody got really excited when they won 2 games ago. Here we go. We're back, boys. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? And then everybody jumped off the bandwagon again. You can't have series where you lose 2 and 3 in a row at this point.
No, they're in a position now that they need to play nearly 700 ball to make the playoffs.
They need to win 2 out of every 3 the rest of the way to get close.
Yeah, I mean, they have now played like 25 games, and they're still under 500. Why would anybody think in their final 37 games or whatever, again, that is, that they're going to win, heck, I don't know, 27 of them?
And your best pitcher's gone for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what happened with that second opinion. I haven't heard that one yet.
I don't know.
I don't know. They're just they're an inconsistent lot. I know they've had some major injuries along the way. That doesn't help a young team that's already a fringe. They don't have the depth to recover from that.
Does Matt McLean being healthy the whole year move the needle much?
Well, it's not just Matt McLean.
I'm just using him as an example.
Well, Friedel's only played like 37 games all year. Or something like that. Or 37% of the games. So maybe he's played 45 games. You know, he's pacing, as you like to do. He's pacing to hit 30 home runs. I mean, Friedel is a big component to this team, and he hasn't been around much. Strand he didn't get off to a good start because I think he was kind of hurt a little bit.
He was playing through it.
Started, and then he gets hurt. So you have almost a full year without Strand, a full year without McLean, half a year without Marte. Marte can't hit at all, so he's on the bench at this point. I mean, those are 3 big contributors from last year. And
Friedel's hit him 100 games. So that's 4.
Yeah, so you got 4.
You missed half your offense.
Starters, right, and that's – I think if all those guys are healthy or at least playing at least 50% of the games, they're winning a few more games. They're probably a lot closer than you think as far as to a wild card. But they need to aim higher than that. They're in a division. The Milwaukee Brewers are an okay baseball team. They're not great. They're playing in a soft division, and they get to play however many games it is, 65 games, against teams that are at or below 500, which is their entire division.
The Reds, Pirates, Cubs.
And Cardinals.
Oddly enough, the Cardinals have had a really hard time.
All those teams are soft. So if you're a little bit better than the soft teams, you're going to look great. Your record's going to look really, really good.
Yeah, because Milwaukee didn't do much in the playoffs last year, did they? And
they were knocked out quickly, I think.
Yeah, well, it's because they're not seasoned enough.
Right.
It's like we used to say when I coached football at LaSalle. Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, you play D2 in the playoffs." And it's like, yeah, but I play a D1 regular season schedule. When you play Moeller and X and Elder and Hoban and St. Ed's and St. Ives every single week. And then you get to round 1 of the Ohio D2 playoffs against Little Miami. Sorry, because that's what happens. You're the competition you play on a regular basis directly affects how good you are and how prepared you are. It's like if we would play some team from the AL East, which we are right now, who's constantly going up against the Red Sox and the Yankees, do you think they give a shit about the Cincinnati Reds?
Not at all.
No. They're going,
so what are we doing for our lock of the week? I mean, what do we even care about right now? That would be a lock of the week.
Well, Thursday's this week. We do have a Bengal game in 2 days. Doesn't seem like it, but we do. Quick turnaround.
It's not really a Bengal game.
It's a showcasing for guys who are going to be cut.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. Who's your roster lock of the week? Now that you've seen, for the most part, what you're going to see on Thursday is all of the guys that are probably not making it. There might be a couple bubbly guys, that are out there. As much as I hate to say it, a guy like Tanner Hudson might be on the bubble because they are incredibly deep at tight end right now. But who's your lock that might not?
Well, I think the guy that earned his spot, that was a very, very late round pick, was Lee, the center.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how in the world you cut him. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think you can cut him under any circumstance.
They're probably going to sign. Can't pronounce his name. Number 45, the linebacker,
John Meta.
That's who they're probably going to sign.
Well, it's going to be between him and Shaka Hayward, who's also played very, very, very well. So I'm not sure. I can't call him a lock yet. I think a lot of Bengal fans will get upset with me for saying that. But here's the deal. When I watch John Meta, and I'd be happy to show anybody what I see. I see a young kid who's a little bit undersized, and that's fine. Linebackers are small now. It's not. You don't need to be 6'3", 250 like you had to be back in the day. I see a kid with fantastic instincts and ridiculously fast reaction time. I see a kid who gets off blocks and is a pretty sound tackler. I see a very, very aggressive guy in terms of tackling, shooting gaps, all the stuff you want to see. He's going to be the guy that on 4th and 1 is going to be that bullet shooting through the A gap that hits a guy 2 yards behind the line. That's who that kid's going to end up being. The issue is there were 2 or 3 plays, and these are things that are all teachable. He just may not have been used to the game speed yet. In that last preseason game against the Bears.
Well, one was on the end around.
One was an end around. He told me about it before I started watching, and I didn't know what time it was coming. I just sat and watched the game as I would watch the game. I saw the end around. I saw him in open space, and I said, well, he's got good distance. He just needs to flatten out. He did not flatten out. He did not mirror the guy. He did not go sideline to sideline. There's something called outside in, which basically if you're the defender and this is the runner, let's say the sideline's over here, you push him toward the sideline to where he forces back inside, right? You play the outside leverage, force him into all back inside, because back inside is where all the pursuit is behind you. That's where your help is, right? So you string him out, and he's either got to make you miss, go out of bounds, or go back into the teeth of the defense. And then a lot of times they just duck out of bounds. He went inside out, which is where you start tailing the guy like 2 planes chasing each other in a World War II dogfight. And linebacker versus receiver, the linebacker is going to lose 99% of the time. And he ended up chasing him 15 to 20 yards down the field. If he plays it right, maybe it's a 3-yard gain. Maybe. The guy could still pop it. You never know. Playing it wrong, he gave up 20 yards. There was another play where I think it's Herbert is the other running back for the Bears.
24.
Yeah. He had a cutback where he cut back and there was nobody there. He also got 17 yards on the play. The guy that missed him in the gap in the point of attack was John Meta. Again, if he breaks down and plays that outside shoulder like he's supposed to, it's a 1-yard gain, maybe 1-yard loss, whatever. It was right at the line. It was in the cluster of the defensive line. Instead, he misses, the guy bounces, and nobody's there. When you're the contained guy, which he was on both of those plays, you have got to make sure he doesn't get past you. There's things like that are on tape, littered through preseason, that would cause me hesitation. Because if you're going to be out there in this division, I don't know if you remember who plays in this division, but if I'm playing contain against Baltimore and Lamar Jackson gets a sidestep off, he's off to the races. There's not many people that are going to bring him down in open field even with the help. So you got to remember what you're building against. And the Bengals are building against the Ravens and the Chiefs. And you got to be a sound tackler. When he gets the hit on somebody, they're stuck. He's awesome. The instincts are great. The size is fine. The speed is good. There's a lot to really like there. But he needs a little bit of polish on those contained plays because he gave up. And there was another play that broke for about 12. I had him charged with 47 extra yards of offense beyond the point of attack on 3 plays in the third quarter alone. 47 yards extra. That's a game. When these games come down to 7 points, that could be it. So you got to watch that stuff. Those are backbreakers. They really are.
Hey, I turned the game off in the third quarter. I'm assuming that Rocky got the quarterback at some point? Or did they let the other guy go the whole game?
Right at the start of the fourth.
How do you do?
Not great.
No.
He's a lot closer to Jake Browning than the other guy is. You know, he's got some mobility. He's got a little bit of a live arm to him. He got smoked when he was trying to fit a ball in down the left seam, and the ball went. It shot straight up in the air toward the middle of the field, and you could just see everybody go, "Oh shit!" It's gonna come down to somebody not in a Bengal uniform. And then there was one where I don't know if it was a play action or it was an option play or whatever. It got blown up in the backfield and the ball shot out. He had 2 turnovers. And he had 2 turnovers against fourth quarter players in preseason. That's now granted. Talent around you elevates you. Talent around you can bring you down, depending on what's going on. If I put Tom Brady out there with 21 other players that aren't going to make the team, I don't know how he's going to do. There were some things that I liked, and there were some things where I was like, "Whoo! I don't know about this one." We'll go with the lock of the week is Matt Lee. Long story short, we'll go Matt Lee. And then last question for you. This is our curveball of the week. These are the pork chop questions that he enjoys. It's a food question. And you can bring Kim into this if you want, or Cassidy or Kyle or whoever's over there. Trevor might have some input here. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Question. No.
No, it's not a sandwich.
That is a definitive no. A lot of people say yes. A lot of people say yes.
It's not a sandwich.
Why not?
I'm going to say, and this is probably the wrong answer, because you have the bun is connected.
Common argument.
You could say it's like a pita thing. Kim, is a hot dog a sandwich? Hot dog on a bun, is that a sandwich or not? Kim says yes.
See,
that's why we're married, because everything she says, I say the opposite.
See, I lean yes, because I also was going to say I think a wrap is a sandwich, but a wrap is a wrap. Kevin says it's not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich.
I don't know. Because then we get into, it's meat and bread. Okay, well, is a corn dog a sandwich? No. That's a to-go item on a stick.
Here, before you get to your next question, I have a non-food question that somebody asked me as I was walking through my work the other day. Do you put your cell phone in your left pocket or your right?
Yes. Mine's all over the place. It depends what I got going on.
Mine's in the left for the most part.
Mine is always somewhere different. It just depends.
Okay. Back to your food.
I don't have a rhyme or reason for my cell phone. I don't know if you know this. I got halfway through writing a book during COVID about a serial killer. I don't know if I told you about that or not. I got about 100 plus pages in. I just never finished it. But he always put his cell phone in his right pocket. I remember in the first couple pages, I made sure he was as OCD as possible and broke it down to what pocket he put his cell phone in. We got a couple comments here. I know Kevin says it's not a sandwich. A corn dog is not a sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich used 2 pieces of bread without that basic qualifications. So it's got to be 2 pieces of bread.
They have to
So
be separated. Yes, can't be one.
what if I get one of those shitty hot dogs at Great American Ballpark and the bun breaks?
No, it doesn't naturally become a sandwich. It doesn't happen that way.
Okay. What if I have a hot dog between 2 pieces of white bread? Is that now a sandwich?
Say it again.
If I slice the hot dog vertically so I can like flatten it out, and then I put bread on top of it and below
Yes,
it,
that becomes a sandwich.
then that is now a sandwich, even though it is still
Yep,
at its core, it's a hot dog.
that's a sandwich.
Okay. Here's my final one. Are you familiar?
But I will say at Skyline, they refer to it as a sandwich in the hot dog bun.
Yeah, because you can get a
You
chili
get
cheese
like a
sandwich.
chili cheese sandwich. They
Now I don't
refer
like
to it as a sandwich.
Is Skyline wrong about hot dogs?
Are they a sponsor?
No.
They're probably wrong.
Okay.
What they serve doesn't even qualify as a hot dog.
They're the little fellas.
That's
I
a
like,
little
I
fella.
like those little fellas.
Little guys.
What was the other question I had? Are you familiar with what a beef Wellington is?
No, I've heard of
Okay.
beef Wellington, just don't know what it is.
Okay. So basically, it's a giant piece of steak, right? And it's seared, wrapped in some other like herbs and stuff, then wrapped in puff pastry and then baked. So it looks like a giant like puff pastry log, and then you slice it like you would prime rib, and you've got this like disc with a giant piece of steak in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said that's basically a corn dog. I know that's like a $200 dish. I don't know if you can call it a corn dog. And they said, "Well, it looks like a hot dog to me. It's a beef round surrounded in bread, and it's very cylindrical." And I was like, I don't like the fact that you've called a beef Wellington a corn dog, but now I'm confused. Darth says it is a sandwich. Very many people are split on whether a hot dog is a sandwich or not. And then the last one, taking into all these considerations how we're qualifying things. I'm just going to ask you what one item is, and then I'm going to ask you if this other item qualifies, okay? How would you quantify a soup?
A soup?
A soup.
Quantify it?
Yeah, what qualifications make a soup?
Broth?
Okay, what makes a broth?
Now you're getting technical on me.
I'm just asking.
I don't know. It's like water and some kind of seasoning or whatever.
Okay, fine. So we'll call it like water, salt.
I think if you have broth, it can be a soup depending upon what all you put in the broth. But broth is a qualifier.
Okay, well, what has to be put in it to like what would you put in it that would not make it a soup?
Oh, if you put like a
So like to me,
pot,
chili's
pot,
not.
pot roast.
I was gonna say that's more chili. To me, chili's not a soup.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my follow-up question: is the ocean a giant bowl of soup?
No.
I have hit your qualifications. That is seafood soup at its finest.
No,
Why?
it's not.
Why not?
Well, first off, you're not going to eat it. You're not going to drink it.
Well, listen, I've been there. I
Yeah.
did drink it.
It didn't go
well.
down too well, did it?
No, sir. Who's farting?
That is my dog with a squeaky toy.
Okay, well, she sounds like she drank the ocean.
Yes. That is what that is.
All right. So according to Bengal Dad, a hot dog is not a sandwich, and the ocean is not a soup.
Correct.
I think the ocean's a soup.
I think you're wrong.
I think it's a soup. And I do believe a hot dog is a sandwich. So
Can I
Kevin's-
share with everyone, all 6 of them plus whoever we don't see on
Yes, you have Barton news.
Yes, I have barn news. My approval is in from the county, and construction will begin Friday.
When does construction end?
Well, it was supposed to be 3 weeks. It's probably more like 5. Because the guy, the concrete
the
guy
whole
is going to.
I mean, the whole shebang.
Oh, the whole shebang. Who knows? It'll be far past the Super Bowl. This is a 2025 project.
Will it be done in the next 12 months and 3 weeks?
I would be stunned if it wasn't.
Yes! Because we plan on doing the show live from the Bengal Barn.
Who freaking day?
I looked into getting you one of those tickers for the barn that we can put like.
If
under
you
one
get
of
a
the-
really good one, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, I saw that, and I
Like
went,
$3
oh.
grand.
I was like,
Yeah, they make them like 10 foot long, LED, $3,000.
no, thank you.
Nope, can't go there.
No, and then they were like, here's a $20 one on Amazon that was like the size of a
It wouldn't
remote
be
control.
here. Now I'm going to say something cocky. It wouldn't be long enough to go over the television and look right.
Tell the people how the size of the TV.
It's a 220 inch.
Oh, 220. 220.
We're not playing.
That's like almost 20 feet diagonal. That's like a bus.
It's the big show. We're going to have some. I want to get some listeners, some podcast people that patrons of ours. We need to get them when we're ready. We need to get them over. Watch some games.
Stranger's ready. Look at Stranger.
Well, I don't know what Flex is all about, but that's good.
Flex is like it's like a humble brag, like not like bragging in a gaudy way, but like, just like when Jamar catches a good pass, he'll come up and
Yeah.
same thing. It's a flex.
I don't have any of that.
Listen. I don't even know what shape this is right now. It's just a shirt cascading over my lovely lady lumps.
The barn is going to be a good thing. Idea behind the barn.
Yeah, Kevin wants to know how that I guess came to fruition.
Now the barn came to fruition because I don't have a big enough basement. Before I bought property, my half to halves would be a pond, a barn, and a workshop.
You check the boxes.
All 3 boxes are checked.
When are you going to put a shooting range out there for me?
No shooting range.
Why not?
Nope,
Why?
not happening.
I could just pick off a couple of those geese. We get a boiled goose for dinner.
Mm-hmm. Smoke it.
I've never had smoked goose. Tried to hit one in the auto mall with my car the other day, but it did move. Believe it or not, those things see you bearing in at about 60 miles an hour. They get a little jumpy.
But yeah, we're going to be live from the Bengal Barn one of these days.
Live from the Bengal Barn. I might be live from the pool. Live from the lake. I might be out there on the paddle boat. Just
Till you get tired, you're stuck in the middle.
yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. You better put a freaking propeller on the back of that thing.
Well, we've about hit the 7 o'clock hour, and that's where I want to shut this thing down.
All right.
I got a restaurant to go to, food to eat.
Yeah, I got to make some sloppy Joe. And
Without onions.
without onions. I don't think I've put onions in it in a while.
Don't put onions in it.
If I do, it's those little like dried minced ones. Kevin's had goose tacos.
Wow.
That's a thing?
I guess it is.
I thought they were you're not supposed to kill geese, Kevin. They're protected. The Canadian goose is considered a protected species. You're not supposed to
I'm
Taco
saying,
Fire.
isn't Kevin from elsewhere?
Oh, Kevin's from Columbus.
Oh, okay.
Or no, I mean
Well, I'm
he's
thinking
not
of
from
Kieran.
Columbus. No, Kevin's from Illinois, I think.
I'm thinking
Iowa?
of Kieran.
Yeah, Kieran is
How come Kieran never watches the show?
Kieran.
That LSU idiot. Why isn't he watching the show?
Kieran's too busy making potatoes and stuff.
There you go. Somebody's got to make potatoes.
So he told me. Here's a fun Kieran story. He now I'm gonna upset him because this is one of his Irish delicacies that he truly loves. He said he was gonna make us an Irish spice bag for dinner. I said I'm down. I didn't know Irish food was spicy. I just thought they were like potatoes and milk and haggis over there. I'm very ill-informed on what Ireland has for food. And he goes, no, it's great. It's all kinds of stuff going on. Cool. So you coming over with the brown paper bag, he's shaking it up. I guess you put the spice in last when all the food's hot and it sticks to it, kind of like when you put salt on fries when they're greasy. This thing's got like a couple chicken nuggets, fries, and like some vegetables in it. And it's just shaking up. And like I open it and I'm like, Kieran, what is this? He goes, it's a spice bag. He says it's got curry on it. And I'm like, you're saying all the wrong things to me right now. I don't do curry. I don't do vegetables. Typically, I don't eat my food out of a bag.
Yeah.
What is happening?
All right. Time to put a bow on it here.
Kevin eats goose tacos.
Goose tacos.
Goose tacos. Does anybody have any final thoughts? I don't. I know I don't. Okay, bye.
And right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle. Rose is on his way